So, alright friends, let's start with the application part. The first application which I'm going to take is a wire has a non-uniform cross-section area as shown in figure. A steady current I flows through it. Which one of the following statement is correct? Right? So, if we see, we are given that a current I flows from this end A to B. Right? From A to B, a current I is flowing. And we can see that the cross-section areas are not same. Cross-section area is increasing. Now, is it going to the cross-section area, is it going to affect this current? No. We have discussed it number of times that the cross-section area is not at all going to affect this current. Current is going to be same. One thing for sure. Now, let's move to the options. This is the drift speed of electron is constant. Drift speed is constant. That means they are talking about drift speed, that is Vd. Second, what they are saying, the drift speed increases on moving from A to B. The drift speed decreases on moving from A to B, and drift speed varies randomly. That means we have to establish a relation, or we have to analyze the drift speed. That means the drift velocity. So, one thing we know that current is going to be constant, and we have to analyze drift velocity. How we can do it? Just write the expression I is equal to NEAVD. Now this is a very important relation here. You must remember it because we are going to use it at a number of places, right? So if you see, this term is constant. The number of electrons per unit volume, for sure it will be constant for this conductor, because number of electrons per unit volume depends on what? Depends on the material we are using. Say be it copper or be it aluminium, it purely depends on the material. As long as the material is same, this N is going to be same, right? That means this N is constant because this wire has same material, right? After that, charge on electron, we know it is constant. Area is variable here. That means this A is variable and drift velocity must be variable because this I is constant. That means here A into Vd, this product is constant, right? This product is constant. Or what we can say, that drift velocity is proportional to 1 upon area. Drift velocity is inversely proportional to area. That means as we move from A to B, area is increasing. Now if area is increasing from A to B, what you can say about drift velocity? It must decrease. Because area is increasing from A to B, this implies drift velocity Vd must decrease from A to B. Right? Because area is increasing from A to B, therefore drift velocity must decrease from A to B. So, option number, the drift speed increases on moving from A to B, drift speed decreases. This is the correct option. Drift speed decreases on moving from A to B. Because area is increasing from A to B, therefore drift speed must decrease because Vd is inversely proportional to area. Right? So, let's see the correct option. Yes, we are correct and it is option C, which is right. Right? Let's take up the next application, which says two wires A and B of same material. Now, when they are saying same material, that means number of electrons per unit volume is going to be same. Whenever say this same material, this implies that N is going to be constant. This is very important. That means N is going to be constant. Now, having radii in the ratio 1:2. There are two wires. So, this is wire 1 and another wire is this one. Say radius, this is R. This is wire 1 and this is wire 2. What is the radii? And this is 2R. Right? Their radii are in ratio 1:2 and they carry current in the ratio 4:1. Say if current in this wire is 4I, then here current will be I. Because it is given in ratio 4:1, therefore I am directly writing it 4I and I. Now you have to be smart enough here to relate such things. Right? You have to be smart. Otherwise, I have seen students doing like A1, A2, then 1 and 2, then dividing the two equations. Be smart, yeah. Be smart. At these tigers, you don't have to do that laborious work. You have to do the smart work, right? So if R is the radius of this wire, that means this radius will be 2R. If 4I is the current in this wire, I is the current in this wire, then the ratio of drift speed of electrons in A and B. That means for this, if I have to write the drift speed, how I can do? We know the formula that I is equal to NEAVD. This is the formula. Now from this I can say that drift velocity Vd is I upon NEA, right? So let's write down. Vd will be equal to, I am writing as Vd1. Vd1 will be equal to I. What is I here? That is 4I upon NEA. NEA. What is A? We know area is proportional to R square. So pi R square. We can write it as pi R square. This is Vd1. Now let's write Vd2 as well. If we write Vd2, what it will be? Current divided by N E into area. Now pi into 2R square, it will become pi into 4R square, right? Now what you have to find? The ratio of drift speeds. We can easily find Vd1 to Vd2. Now divide them. Vd1 to Vd2, it will be 4I upon Ne into pi R square. When you will divide, numerator will become denominator and denominator will become numerator. I upon, this is Ne pi into 4R square. Now this I and I will cancel out. Ne pi R square will cancel out. What will you get? 4 into 4 is 16. This implies the ratio is 16:1. This is the required ratio. Option A is correct, right? So you can see that if we are clear with this expression and we are clear with the term, individual terms, we can solve each and every question. That you can see here. All you need to do is apply two things, that you have to apply this concept of ratios. You must be clear how to play with the ratios. Secondly, this is the hidden data. This was the hidden data here, that N is constant because the material we are using is same. Therefore, N is going to be same, right? Now, similarly, let's take option A is correct, 16:1, right? Let's take up next application, which says, again it is quite interesting. The figure here shows conduction electrons moving leftwards. Now we are given these electrons and they are moving leftwards. Select the quantities which have direction rightwards. Now we have to select the quantities which have direction rightwards. Let's see what are the options. Options are, we have to find direction of I, then we have to find the direction of J, that is current density, then electric field, and one more thing is Vd. Now these four quantities we have to see. We have to see the direction of these four quantities. Now what is direction of current? We know direction of current is always opposite to the flow of electrons. We know if electrons are moving leftwards, that means current will be rightwards, like this, right? Then what you can say about J? I have told you current density has same direction as current. That direction of current density is same as that of current. That means for sure J will be also rightwards. Now what you can say about electric field? So let's see. Because these electrons are moving leftwards, that means they must be experiencing a force leftwards. And we know electrons experiences force in the direction opposite to electric field. That means if they are experiencing a force in this direction, electric field must be rightwards. That means this is also rightwards. What you can say about drift velocity? Drift velocity is the velocity with which these electrons get drifted. And we can see these electrons are moving in this direction, therefore the drift velocity will be leftwards. Right? Because drift velocity is basically the speed of these electrons now with which they are getting drifted. So it must be leftwards. Right? So what are the quantities which are rightwards? It is I, J and E. I guess option D is correct. I, J and E. Right? So here also you can see, if you have the basic idea of current drift velocities, you can solve each and every question, right? So option D is correct, right? Now let's take up the next illustration. Now, this is an interesting question, right? It says, find total linear momentum of electrons in a conductor of length 1000 meters carrying a current I is equal to 70 ampere. Now, this is a new term which is introduced here. Otherwise, we study linear momentum in mechanics. Now, again, I'm telling you, JEE has a very old habit of merging two concepts. They'll merge mechanics into everything. They'll merge mechanics into electrostats. They'll merge mechanics into modern physics. Then they'll merge mechanics into your optics. And that is how they play with the concepts, right? Because the concepts are limited. It's just their application is like infinite. So they're saying that find the total linear momentum of electrons in a conductor of length 1000 meters, right? We are given a conductor. So this is the conductor whose length is say 1000 meters. L is 1000 meters and carrying a current of 70 amperes. Say a current is flowing in this direction and it is 70 ampere. Find the total linear momentum. Now, let's go back to the basics. What is linear momentum? Linear momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. Here they are talking about momentum of what? Of electrons. That means total momentum of all the electrons. What will be the momentum of one electron? It is going to be mass of one electron multiplied by what? Drift velocity. Because electrons are moving with this velocity. Right? But this is linear momentum of only one electron. But we have to calculate the total momentum. How we can find total momentum? If momentum of one electron is me into Vd, what is the momentum? Total momentum. So total momentum will be what? Number of electrons multiplied by me into Vd. Again, this is the exact absolute number of electrons. But what we know? We don't know the absolute number of electrons. We know their density. So now we have to relate this with the density. How we can do it? We know what is number of electrons per unit volume. It is absolute number of electrons divided by volume of the conductor. What will be the volume? It will be A into L, where A is the cross-section area. Right? So, number of electron density is number of electrons, exact number of electrons divided by volume. So, this way we can say that number of electrons, the absolute number of electrons is small m, that is density multiplied by volume. So, let's substitute it here. What we will get? N into A into L into Me into Vd. Right? Now, what else? This is the momentum and we know only current and this L. Right? These are the terms which we know. And now, what we can do? See, we can relate it with the current because we know current in a conductor is NEAVD. Right? So, if we can see that NA into VD, NAVD, this NAVD is simply I by E. From this expression, I can write it as NAVD because in this expression, I have NAVD, which I don't know. So, I have to replace it. So, how I can do it? I by E. This is nothing but I by E. Let's back substitute it. What we will get? We will get P total is equal to, see, I am substituting these two terms and this VD term as I by E. So, what we will get? Mass of electron into I into L upon charge on one electron. Now, we know mass on one electron? Yes. Do we know charge on electron? Yes. Do we know current here? Yes. It is given 70 ampere. Do we know the length? Yes. It is 1000 meters. Now, everything we know. It's just we have to do the calculations. After calculations, the answer which we get is 0.4 into 10 raised to the power minus 6. So, this is the total momentum. This is the total momentum of electrons when they will start moving. Right? It was a bit, I would say, It is an interesting question. All you have to do is the play with the terms. So again, you can see if you know this term, that is I is equal to NAVD, you can very easily handle it. Right? It's just you have to very clear about the terms what we are given. This capital M n is the absolute number of electrons. This small n is the number of electrons per unit volume. It's just you have to be very clear with all the terms. Right? So let's take one more illustration or one more application, and it is purely based on what we have done in our previous question. Both the questions are almost similar. It says how much time will be taken by an electron to move a distance L, which is 1 kilometer. Now we have to find the distance. Again, what they have done, they have merged concept of mechanics into electrostats, or they have merged the concept of mechanics into current electricity. Right? Let's see. How much time will be taken by an electron to move a distance of 1 kilometer? Say this is the conductor, and say this conductor is 1 kilometer long, and here is the electron. Right? We know electron moves with what speed? Vd. Right? This is the thing which we have to assume. Right? Because they are not at all going to say you that electrons are moving with drift velocity. You have to assume it, as you have to apply your thought process. You have to assume yourself that electrons must be moving with drift velocity. In a copper wire of cross section A, the cross section area we are given is 1 millimeter square. This is 1 millimeter square. Again, you have to convert it to meters. That is the thing which you have to keep in mind. If it carries a current of 4.5 ampere, that means we are given current which is 4.5 ampere. So let's see how we can do it. We can relate it with the speed distance formula. We know speed is equal to distance upon time, which is 1000 meters by time taken t. This time we have to find, right? Now, if you have to find this time t, then how much time? Yes. So it will be 1000 by Vd. Right. Now, do we know this Vd? Right. Let's see. We know current. That means we have to relate it with I is equal to NEAVD. We have to relate it with this. Now, what is this Vd? We can substitute it from here. Vd is I upon NEA. I is equal to NEA. Right. Now, let's substitute it here. What I'll get? I'll get time t is equal to 1000 upon Vd, which is I, into NEA. Right? Now, next thing is, do we know A? Yes. This we know. We are given this area. Yes. Do we know E? Yes. Do we know current? Yes. Do we know this N? Electron density. Do we know the electron density? So, my dear friends, just see what they are saying. They are saying time taken by an electron. They are saying time taken by one electron. That means it is one electron here. They are talking about just one electron. You don't have to deal with number of electrons per unit volume. They are talking about just one volume, one electron. Alright. So just substitute the values, and the answer which we'll get is 3 into 10 raised to the power 6. Right. So alright friends, this is we are done with the application part. I hope you must have enjoyed these applications. These are very interesting ones. Right. So just go through these applications, try practicing these questions 2-3 times, and definitely after solving these 5-6 questions, you will be able to solve each and every question related to current and drift velocity. Not even a single question will be left which you will not be able to solve. Right. So that's it from my side. In our next lecture, we are going to see what is resistance. Again, a very beautiful term and a very important term as far as current electricity is concerned. Right. So that's it from my side. Keep learning and keep practicing. Thank you.